Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and today we're going to be floral. So it's Panalisa, and as our base card I'm going to be using a sheet of paper from this paper pack, which is all kind of brick surfaces. So we're using a sheet from that pack, and we are using the window and window box die, and we're also using a sentiment, and the sentiment I've chosen is thanks a bunch because it's all flowery. So basically you get a plain one, and then you get one that cuts out the lettering. These cut out in blocks of 3, so you know you can make up 3 at a time if you want to, or just choose the one that you actually want. And when you've done that, you just obviously remove it from the die and glue it flat to here. So the one I've chosen is thanks a bunch. Right, I'm going to move the paper pad out of the way, and I'm going to show you the base that I've cut because I've tried to be organised. This is going to be a quick video, she says. So there is my card base. My card base is a wonderful brick wall. There we have it. If you've got stencils, you know, you can use these for garden themes, little houses, gingerbread houses and whatnot. But you can also stencil. So you could stencil somebody's name on, you know, like graffiti for their birthday or something like that, and have a bunch of balloons. So these papers are just great. Right, so this die set, I'm going to take it out of the packaging so that I can explain it, because I have made quite a bit of it, so I just want to make sure that everybody knows where we are. Right, okay, so I'll move those bits out of the way to begin with. Now the first thing you want to cut out is you want to cut out your window frame. You can see you've got this tab here that folds. It's got a score line on it, so choose whatever colour that you want for your window frame, and then you're going to cut that out. Then you're going to take this frame and you're going to cut out your acetate. So then your acetate will glue behind so that you've got a lovely looking window frame. So let me grab that piece and show you. I'm just moving my other little bits out of the way. So that is what you will have. That's got acetate behind it, and it's just glued in using my lovely new stuff, my art glitter glue. That's all I've used, and you can see those tabs there that were on the die. Just fold them in so that that is your downward image. When you're done, it should look like that, so you're nice and 3D. Okay, and then with this die again, you want to cut your background. Now I've chosen a piece of Craft Consortium, which is I haven't got it on hand actually. Oh, hang on, let me pause and grab it. Here we go, it's this one, and I think I got mine from Tuesday Morning for around £2.99 or something ridiculous. But you get all different kinds of, you know, you can choose them for sky or for greenery backgrounds, and these are lovely painted sort of like inked up scenes. So you know, there's one of the darker ones. They're just really lovely papers and great quality. Now I know Tuesday Morning's gone, but if you spot it in Michael or Joanne or even online, it is totally worth it. And that's what I've chosen for my background for my window. So when you've cut that out, this will wrap around like this. I am going to glue it down in a second so that you can see that, but you can see you're going to have a lovely kind of, let's see how close we can get, a nice sky background. That's what we're aiming for. So that's what you do with those pieces. Now with this is your window box front, and then you're going to cut out your flower section. Now you cut your flower piece, this one, in green, okay, and then you cut this one, which is supposed to be your dirt or your choir sort of like window box liner, in a shade of brown, but really you can do it in whatever colour you want to, and that will lay on top. So everything above that is green. Once you pop that on, it's brown, and I'm choosing white for mine. and then that would go on top of there, and that is your lovely window box that just layers on top. Now, as I've said, all of this, because you've cut it green, would mean your flowers are green, but you get a strip of flowers, which means you cut them out and you glue whatever colour on top. So then you're just left with your green leaves and whatever colour flowers that you choose. And I've chosen yellow. Now, there is also this piece, and I haven't discovered what that is yet. It might just be that it's a sentiment piece that can go onto the front of your window box, and you can just do whatever you want to. And then you also get 2 extra little pieces of greenery, and I'm going to choose to use mine on my little sentiment strip. So that's the explanation of those pieces, and I'll just move those out of the way. Right, and I will show you what I did. So as I said, that first piece is going to be green, but then you choose your colour of flowers, and I chose yellow, and I popped a little, oh, my camera's playing up, I popped a little yellow crystal into the centre of mine, and I cut them twice so that I could have them fluffed up a bit. But if I turn it over, you'll see that it was all green. So you're going to go green, the colour of your liner or your soil, and then the colour of your basket. And this, when you finish doing your window bit to your background, will go onto the front of your card like that. Isn't that pretty? Right, so that's that bit, and I've done that. And my 2 pieces of greenery that also come with it are these, and I'm hoping to sort of like wiggle them into my banner, which says thanks a bunch. So that's what I'm hoping for with that. So I'm just going to pop those there. But first of all, what you need to do is attach your window onto your background. Now, as I said, and I showed before, you've got these little flaps here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop some glue down this first piece here, and I'll try and do it, you know, slowly enough that you get what's going on. And that is going to glue onto here. Now you want to line it up, and you want to be able to bend it. So that is our first piece. We are at 88% humidity. I kid you not, I'm breathing in water here, and it's making my throat feel really bad. So when I start going croaky, you have to forgive me. Right, so that was that piece, and then you need to then close your window over, and you're going to do exactly the same thing on that piece, so that when it's done, this will rock over like this to go flat into your envelope. So that's basically all that you have to do. I'm now going to turn it over to do that bit. So it's just on the edge piece that you want it. So I'm going to lift that up. Make sure that it's all down all the way. You can see that you can make that card just to stand up on its own. I'm just going to pause while that dries. Right, so that's now all dry, and as I said, you can just do this all on its own and have it like that. And if you wanted to cut several windows and just keep layering them up, you could certainly do that and make a sort of in-depth diorama. But the idea is that it pops up so that you can just push that flat to pop it into your envelope. But we're having it in its own little scene here, so I'm mounting it onto brick wall. So there is enough space within my wall scene. I think I can go down to there within my wall scene that when it collapses, it's still within the card. You can see that it's kind of centre. Now the width of my card for this is 4.5 inches, so I'm hoping that that's straight and that'll come my brick wall straight, and that's basically how I'm going to put it. I'm going to use that cement line for the bricks there and pop some glue onto the back, and we'll stick that down. Now if you look there, you can see exactly how it's glued. You've got one tab to one tab. So now I just need to find my little cement border again, and I think it was about there, so, and I want to be in the middle for when I open it up. So I'm just shifting it along until I'm happy. Everybody's screaming at me at home, it's not in the middle. And I do want it to be, so I might just push it along just a little bit more. There, I think that will do. And then push that flat, and you can wobble it both ways. There you go. So I'm hoping that is in the middle of my brick wall. There we go. Right, the next thing to do is to glue this down. And I will pause for a second while this dries because it's going on to acetate, and for me acetate always takes a little bit longer. Now I'm only doing the window box, I'm not doing the flowers because I want those to kind of float free. So I'm lining that up with the bottom of my cards there. I'm just going to let that dry and I'll be right back. Right, so that's dry. So the next thing I need to do is I need to grab my spare bit of greenery and kind of play around as to how I'm going to position this. So I know that's going to go there, but I kind of want my thanks a bunchy at an angle, but about there. So I'm holding these here, which is something that I like to do, so I know where things are going to go. And then I'm just going to hold them again and just pop a little bit of glue under those stems, and then I just hold it for a second. Right, they're not going to go anywhere. And get that little bit of glue out of the way. And now I'm just going to glue it on. So I really want to get it at a nice angle where I'm not completely hiding that pretty little bit of window in the centre. So maybe over to there. So I'm just going to rock the card over. I'm just going to hold that a second and I'll be right back. Right, and there it is, our finished little card. And as I said, you can squish it down whichever way you choose and pop it into an envelope. Isn't that great? Let's have a closey. There we go. I love that little bit of greenery coming out of the thanks a bunch. And I love the little bit of sparkle. I just think that's so pretty. Right, that is what I've got for you today, and I'm going to be up with more flowers tomorrow. Why not? Before we're completely overrun with pumpkins and everything else, let's have a few more flowers. Right, I thank you so much for joining me today. Have an absolutely awesome day, and as usual, all links below. Bye.